Here's a quick primer on how to make objects or layers invisible in Anime Studio. To make a layer invisible, it is really simple. Let's go to another frame number, like 60. Double click on the layer in the layer palette you want to make invisible. This calls up the layer properties. There are several options available. You have several tabs and several options under each tab. But on the General tab, go to Visible, uncheck it. Hit OK. Now you see the timeline is turned red. So from frame 0 to frame 60, objects will be visible. But after that, even though you see the points here, rendering it, you won't see anything. That layer is now invisible. If I was to go back into the layer properties, hit visible, they're back again. So invisible, visible. Now that's everything on that layer. What if we want to hide just one object out of the two objects on this layer? Well, we can do it this way. We'll go to frame 60, go to the Select Shape tool, choose your shape, come over to the color channel, double click on it. This calls up your settings. Go to the alpha, change that to 0. Now, what will happen when you play the timeline, you won't see it disappearing. But if you were to render it, you'll see how it's fading out. If you don't want it to slowly fade over this time period, select these keyframes right here at frame 0, hit copy, come to the frame right before you want the change to happen, hit paste. This is called a hold keyframe. The action will not take place until that point. That's about the easiest way to do that. Now, there's one other thing you need to remember about making a layer invisible or visible. Say you wanted to fade out a layer. You didn't want to do just a quick invisible like I had showed you. Come into the layer properties and choose Allow Animated Layer Effects. Now you can come to the opacity and change that just like you did with the alpha. Okay, and now that layer will slowly fade out just like a shape did, but everything on the layer. It's a good way of doing a fade to black or fade in from black. If you were to have a black shape covering this and you could fade it in so it would cover everything, it's one good way to go to a cutscene. Well, I hope that kind of gives you an idea of what you need to do.